Good morning.
Hello.
Nice, we can be in each other's living room. And today I felt we can go through lesson 79. Let me recognize the problem so it can be solved. Let me recognize the problem so it can be solved. A problem cannot be solved if you don't know what it is. Even if it is really solved already, you will still have the problem because you will not recognize that it has been solved. This is the situation of the world. The problem of separation, which is really the only problem, has already been solved. Yet the solution is not recognized because the problem is not recognized. Everyone in this world seems to have his own special problems. Yet they're all the same and must be recognized as one if the one solution that solves them all is to be accepted. Okay, I read this again because this is a simple solution to everything. Everyone in this world seems to have his own special problems, yet they're all the same and must be recognized as one if the one solution that solves them all is to be accepted. Who can see that a problem has been solved if he thinks the problem is something else? Even if he is given the answer, he cannot see its relevance. So if you believe you have personal problems and you're given the answer being there is no separation from God, it will not make sense if you still believe in personal problems, if you still believe that there is a difference, the differences in illusion. That is the position in which you find yourself now. You have the answer, but you're still uncertain about what the problem is. A long series of different problems seem to confront you, and as one is settled, the next one and the next arise. There seems to be no end to them. There is no time in which you feel completely free of problems and at peace. The temptation to regard problems as many is the temptation to keep the problem of separation unsolved. The temptation to regard problems as many is the temptation to keep the problem of separation unsolved. The world seems to present you with a vast number of problems, each requiring a different answer. This perception places you in a position in which your problem solving must be inadequate, and failure is inevitable. No one could solve all the problems the world appears to hold. They seem to be on so many levels, in such varying forms, and with such varied content that they confront you with an impossible situation. Dismay and depression are inevitable as you regard them. If we focus on the problems of the world, depression is inevitable. Some problems spring up unexpectedly, just as you think you have resolved the previous ones. Others remain unsolved under a cloud of denial and rise to haunt you from time to time, only to be hidden again, but still unsolved. All this complexity is but a desperate attempt not to recognize the problem and therefore not to let it be resolved. Okay, this is also very helpful to know. All this complexity is just a desperate attempt to not recognize the real problem. If you could recognize that your only problem is separation, no matter what form it takes, you could accept the answer because you would see its relevance. Perceiving the underlying constancy in all the problems that seem to confront you, you would understand that you have the means to solve them all. And you would use the means because you recognize the problem. Okay, so this is super helpful. There is no need to analyze the seeming problems of the mind or of the world, of the persona, of relationships, of situations. This would just be an attempt to be distracted from resolving the one problem. So it's pretty good news. I'm sure you've already seen a few problems in your mind that you believed in. Maybe even let some go. You can just continue to see what else is there in terms of problems. And just remove them. To feel there is maybe only one problem that even is already resolved. And I think sometimes we just need to open our minds or open our hearts to let the light shine in, especially if there is guilt in the way. Because if there is a belief in separation, there is guilt. And this guilt is unbearable. It is projected as many problems. This is why we want to see that the one and only problem is already solved. The last paragraph of this lesson states this: be not deceived by the form of problems today. Whenever any difficulty seems to arise, tell yourself quickly, let me recognize this problem so it can be solved. Then try to suspend all judgment about what the problem is. If possible, close your eyes for a moment and ask what it is. You will be heard and you will be answered. So it's very tempting to the separate mind to see problems outside. And make solution impossible. But if we see that the only problem is a misunderstanding, misperception in our own mind, then a solution is possible. But we need to see it first. We have access to an interpreter in our mind. That is ready to help us see everything clearly. It's very safe and very advised to lay aside our own interpretations. Be open to Spirit's interpretation. In the light of communication, Jesus says that, talks about communication, and he says language is a way of communicating without communicating. Words is a way of stopping communication unless, he's saying this actually, this strange and twisted effort to communicate through not communicating holds enough of love to make it meaningful if its interpreter is not its maker. We can say this about the whole world, about everything. Everything that the deceived mind is perceiving, it made up. And it will hold enough of love if the interpreter is not its maker. Love will be perceived even here if the interpreter is not the maker. This is our safety. To give yourself the allowance to step back enough in your mind. Everything is laid out before you. Everything is resolved. Everything is interpreted from the light of Spirit. And if there is upset, then there has been a personal interpretation. No matter what the upset is about. And the invitation is strong for us to give over the upset, give up the upset. Now we can check in if anyone has something you would like to explore. I'll put on the altar this morning. If you're in the inner flow of giving over upsets and perceived problems and feeling this flow with spirit, that's beautiful. And if there's something you would like to join about, we can explore it here.
Yeah, I just had thoughts coming up around just like memories of lack from previous experiences, like not getting things in the past, of things that I wanted, like preferences of jobs and career things, like, yeah. And there's like a hurt there that like from those memories, like something was taken from me that I wanted. And I've been looking at the sacrifice. Yeah, just this feeling that I always keep coming back to, like I have to sacrifice for God. And yeah, just.
Did you read today's lesson?
We did the lesson today.
Yeah. I'm not asking to make a sacrifice to find the mercy and the peace of God. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're onto this kind of inherent belief in the deceived mind that there is something you have to give up for God. That God demands some kind of sacrifice. But do you really think you needed it, this job or these jobs? Or do you think perhaps life brought you past them quickly so that you could actually focus on awakening?
Yeah. I had a lot of failure happen. Like a lot of things I wanted that I wasn't given, and it's like led me here. Like I can see that.
Yeah, like it was humbling. And maybe this was very helpful for you to not develop an ego, a personal identity of success in the world. That part of you actually knew it's not what you need. And you're not going to be bereft of joy. No, you're going to have a job that's going to please you deeply. The miracle worker function is actually the only job that's going to make you happy, because it's going to remove all your personal ideas of who you are, what anything is for, what language is for. Yeah. It's because I read about language, but yeah, what anything is for. Because you're ready for that.
Yeah.
You could even do an experiment in your mind. Let's say you got these jobs. You probably would have felt really weird and unsatisfied in those jobs. So
Yeah,
actually,
they were never satisfying. Like even when I got them, they were never like, there was always something missing from them. And
yeah,
still feel this fear, like it's like a release of an identification that I've had for such a long time with trying to get and trying to achieve. And
yeah. So I think these concepts are underneath, the achieving, the accomplishing something. It's concepts that you believe in that are underneath this belief that you miss out of certain jobs. And the pendulum, or the other side of the pendulum, like you were not good enough. You failed. You weren't given them because of something in you, in your persona, that wasn't adequate for them, according to the judges of the world. So it is a belief in achievement that you're looking at. And it's very helpful to look at it and release it.
yeah, it seems to be what all my meditations are just filled with, like past memories. They just keep coming in, and I have to drop them and let them go, drop them. It's like, yeah, even now I can feel this fear, but I don't really know what it like. It's just a resistance to like opening my heart, I think. And like casually like, yeah, thinking I know what the problem is, or that I know mine, like just and analyzing, like over analyzing all the time.
Yeah, it's safe to put anything on the altar. It's safe to give over the past. It's safe to relax your heart. It is safe to accept the present.
Yeah, me and Lynn have been sharing a lot, and it feels like there's like a running, or yeah, like I don't want to be seen.
Mm. Mm.
It's too much. Like, what is gonna be seen of something? What is inside? Like,
Well, maybe it's just this part of you that doesn't want to be seen, that you can look at, you can see it.
because when it isn't expressed as well, we're talking about communication. When I asked the Holy Spirit, like, what is the problem? Instead of telling us, I had communication, and when my heart is closed, the communication, so there's no communication. Like, there's no. I can't see anything clearly. I can't make decisions. I can't communicate what's needed. It's just this blur.
Yeah. And you're onto it. Because the key is to open your heart. Key is to invite spirit. Because it's not just communication with words, you know, communication is much bigger than that. Not just what we say, it's our whole being. It's a communication device. It's a communicator. And we want to receive the communication of God. We want to receive the thought of God. So that is what we share, so that is what we communicate. So you're actually just looking at the personal identity, the blocks to this experience are just personal aspects. And they will just fall away when they're seen. And you will feel really free because the communication isn't really made up by you as a person. You know, so it's this flow, it's this safety that you're swimming in it, you're bathing in it in safety. It's not made up by a person, it's given. We're pretty good at making up problems, but you know, you just need to see them and release them. They're not real. The calling is just to come back to presence. Yeah, to feel safe to be seen. It's beautiful. It's very healing to allow yourself. Thank you. Just take all those complicated aspects of the mind that are coming from the past. You can just look at them and release them. There is no need to analyze the mind. And if there are some blocks that you feel inside, we can explore it here. Feel free to lift up anything. Jonas?
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, it seems like there has been a kind of an avoidance for prayer for me or something. And it's, you know, when I've been waking up in the mornings, it's like there is such a deep tiredness that I don't want to sit and pray because it's like I just go more into the tiredness. And then I have always like, okay, try and go out and go for a walk and sing, or and when I'm home and I can feel, okay, now I'm really getting tired, then for example, if it's my day off and Vanessa, she will go to see some people, then it's like, okay, maybe I just go there as well, even though I'm actually feeling that what I really want to do is just lie down and rest or something. But it's like I have done that before in my life, and then it didn't work, and it also, then I wake up in the middle of the night, and there are many things that I'm afraid of about allowing myself to rest. So I've just been trying to almost like go with every opportunity I can to, instead of sit there and have my time, then just go. And now I feel like I came to a point where even in my work, I almost like broke down, where I met my boss, as I call her, like the boss for the department, and I just needed to express to her, like, I feel so overloaded, and I was crying, and my heart was hurting in a way where I couldn't release it. And yeah, I have this feeling of frustration in my life, this feeling like there is something that I'm missing. I'm still believing I'm responsible for too many things, and yeah, I feel like a fuck up, that I cannot do better.
Well, you started by saying you don't feel like you have prioritized prayer, and I think that's it. You're because all these other problems, they are not what they seem, and you have been looking before at this idol of sleep. It's an idol in the mind. And so, this is, I think, is key to work on this and find ways that you can reach deeper. For example, on your day off or on any day, to prioritize prayer, to see that temptation to want to just sleep and say, no, I'm not going to follow that. Maybe later, I can sleep maybe later, but now I need to look at my mind. Because it is about desire. And desiring healing, it will come to you. Desiring awakening, this is what's happening,
Mm-hmm.
You're not a hopeless case. So this is it. And I think you're onto it. You see this pattern that has been impacting you a lot.
Yeah, but I have not allowed myself to sleep for a month. Almost not, quite the opposite. It's like I have pushed myself to go somewhere to not get tired.
But you also shared that you have allowed yourself to stay home and lay down, but it didn't work. It doesn't work.
In the past.
Okay, not right now.
No, not right now. I mean, what I'm calling for, what my whole being is calling for, is to stay home, and whatever is lying down, or when I lie down, I never sleep. I always pray. When I have the time in silence, I always have some kind of prayer. It's always like I'm always connected to.
You are praying.
But
So you are seeking spirit. You are seeking God. You are praying.
I am, when I give myself the time, but I'm afraid that if I give myself more time to do it, then spirit will wake me up 4:30, and then I will be pissed off,
So it's a belief in sacrifice.
Yeah, and then also like a belief in sickness, that I believe that I'm already sick enough, and I don't want him to wake me up there, because then that's definitely the opposite of what I need. I believe that I need like a year of 8 hours of sleep. Then I will feel finally good. But
I think Spirit wants to help you to release that limiting belief and that belief in sacrifice. And if the Holy Spirit wakes you up at 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. or whatever you said, the Holy Spirit will also care for you later on. You're his vessel, and the vessel is cared for.
Yeah.
When you give yourself over to guidance, you're not going to be punished. This is the belief in sacrifice you're looking at. You're afraid that something's going to be taken from you. I'm not asked to make a sacrifice to find the peace of God.
It just seems impossible, you know, when I wake up at that time with that amount of energy, like so little energy, so tired, it seems impossible to go through the day. But I go through the day, you know, and then in the end of the day, I'm like, wow, I went through it. And I'm happy, but I still believe that it took its toll on my health. You know, it's like...
But you make a big difference between days and nights, and sleep and being awake. What if there is this one state of mind, and you're here to just be in the right direction, to be right-minded, no matter what? No matter what the body is doing, if it is doing anything, or if it is resting, your focus, your one intent is just to be in the right mind. Nothing else, no matter what. You're not controlling days and nights. You're not controlling whether your body is asleep or not. The mind never sleeps. So your job is to redirect your mind, to direct it into right-mindedness. That's it.
You know, I see that picture on your fridge. It's like a sweet picture of Jesus. It's like, what time is that taken? Maybe it's 2 a.m. Maybe it's 5 a.m. Maybe it's noon. I don't know. It doesn't have a clock on it. I think that state is possible no matter what the clock says. How many hours of sleep did Jesus have before he took that picture? I don't know. Maybe he had 1 hour of sleep. Maybe he had 10 hours of sleep. I don't think he cares. I don't think his health is affected by that.
And you meditate on that picture whenever you have that belief that you don't get enough sleep.
Yeah, and then I also I have the belief, because, you know, sometimes when I have went really deep, for example, when I came home from your retreat and stuff like that, and it was like when I'm walking on my work, I'm having these mystical experiences, for example, in the hallway, where it's like I'm not perceiving myself as a body, but I'm seeing a big Jesus, or like weird shit is happening to me, right? And then, you know, it's difficult. I believe that if I go deep, then I will get fired. I believe that if I go deep, I cannot really be present, because my mind is so visual and so creative in this way that can kind of distract me from being where I need to be. So I believe I need to be more like playing guitar and like things that are grounding me.
Maybe that is still personal control, like attempting to be in control as a person. If you really give over that too, give over the responsibility to spirit. But if you're in God, you're going to be perfectly fine, perfectly used by spirit, more capable than, you know, than anything a person could be. If you're in the place you're guided to be, you know, to trust that too. That you're going to be guided. You are guided to every place where you're called to be. And you can be perfectly relaxed and free in spirit. No need to control yourself. Because when you have an open heart, open mind to spirit, you're going to be used. Your body vehicle will be used, will be a miracle worker.
Yeah.
So this belief, you're going to be tired, or that you're going to lose it if you let your mind go to God. You know, these are the beliefs in sacrifice. Like, I know a woman who gave over her mind completely, and she was driving her car at the time, And God brought her up into the heavens to angels. And she said, but I'm driving. And the angel said, no, let us take care of that. And she had this mystical experience. She was not in time and space. She was definitely not driving the car. And then many miles later, she found herself back in the car. And the car had been perfectly driven in the meantime. So that's quite an encouraging story.
Yeah. Baby, let me drive your car.
Baby, I love you.
Okay.
That sums it up. Body being a vehicle and everything. It works. Love you, Jonas.
Mm.
Thank you
Love
for
you.
sharing. Love you both.
Yeah, love you guys.
Okay, anybody else? Peter?
Hi.
Hi.
Feeling fear about speaking. I think feeling really unworthy.
You feel what?
Unworthy, sorry. I could see I was critical in my mind around Solvay at one point about not loving me enough. I could see that was very, kind of felt like very early life, childhood type place, and just a needy place. And I've remembered it in relationships.
Yeah, sometimes you cannot lay out a list of things.
There's a lot happening, yeah, at the moment. Just some part of me wants to, it's like I have this question a lot. What is this? What's happening? So I just feel incredibly frustrated because
Yeah,
just,
let's see here. Let's see here. Are you in touch with the fear? So this is a list of problems, but they feel a bit, half seen or half. You move on to the next and the next, but just see here if there is fear or just a feeling. Or maybe it's just a desire to connect.
yeah, well, there's certainly that. Certainly the desire to connect. I feel ashamed about that, I guess. Yeah.
It's okay to desire connection. Actually, it's very helpful to connect.
That's been a big feeling up for me around Solvay. Feeling just not clear about it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's in your mind. So it's in your mind.
Yeah, it's just feels like the longing for connection. It's like my heart's breaking or something, like an acute desire. Yeah, I mean,
Desire for love, desire for connection.
it sort of links with the shame of wanting to love and be loved.
How could love be shameful?
I don't know.
Me neither. And sing more songs. Let your love show. Let your love flow. Sing that bird.
You're doing great.
Or let a little love into your heart.
Yeah. It's an impossible song to sing, that one. I tried to practice it the other day because you encouraged me to sing it a few months back. Actually, it was that song.
Oh, good. It's
And
coming
I
back.
just couldn't sing it.
Yeah, it's so simple. Sometimes it can be tempting to go and say that it's something in the past that is blocking you in the present. But I think that's more like a temptation to seek complexity or to seek an answer in time or an answer in form to present fear. Jesus does say, if there is fear, there has been a decision not to love. So come back to that place of the decision not to love and then decide otherwise. He says, just decide otherwise. You can make the decision to love.
Yeah. Yeah. That feels true.
Natural for you. You're a lover, but a lover.
I like to think that. And then I get stuck. Then I go into fear.
But fear can't stop you for long. You're worthy. Worthy to be loving, to let love flow through you. Let love throw you off. Throw you off the ego's track.
Yeah. It just feels a bit steel-like inside right now.
But even to
I just want to trust you, but I just like some part of me is, I want to trust you when you say those things.
yeah, and trust inside, to ask this question, can I allow myself the worthiness of being loving? I want to question shame. I want to question feeling guilt. I want to allow this natural state of love. And just see if there are defenses inside that, comes up against it, but just to see that, and they will fall.
Yeah, so as you're speaking, I go, yeah, well, just do it. That's what just do it, stop it, stop. And then I can just feel myself just making myself wrong.
Yeah, so that's not the spirit's voice.
No.
It's never harsh. Yeah, your only job is to question that guilt and that darkness, that self-judgment. Fire the harsh voice. The voice that says, just get on with it. That's the voice to fire. You need to get it fired.
Yeah, I mean, I can just feel this desperate place just then. It's just like I want to. I was begging, like begging to. Like I can just, yeah, no wonder I feel so unworthy. It's like I can feel that kind of. It's just pathetic. But
That
is
is
the
not the
I
spirit.
know is the guilt. I need a way through. I can feel it. You know, when I get desperate, I need a way through. And
Yeah, but these thoughts, you know, are very powerful. So the thoughts that say you're just pathetic, just get on with it, or whatever the thoughts say, you have the power to just see those thoughts and say, oh, well, these thoughts are not helping me. These thoughts are not, don't really have any power. That's the way through. Just to look at them. Don't let them be real. Don't believe them.
yeah. And you're right. I can see now. That's just a thought, and I'm pathetic. It's a thought I know well, but I can see it's a thought, just a thought.
You
When
can
it
have
does a lot
another
of
thought.
thoughts around it.
When you see those thoughts, you can have another thought that says, would God think this about me? Would God think this about me?
Yeah.
We had a guy here at the retreat. He had an experience of God holding him like a baby. God's arms holding him like a baby. He's a baby. And so safe and so loved through the awakening. The sleeping baby awakening in the arms of God. Very, very loved.
Yeah. I've had experiences like that. It's not like I haven't had them. It just feels like you know, there's a trauma, and then we go, well, maybe there's no trauma. It's just some masochistic addiction.
Yeah, history would not exist if you didn't keep repeating the same mistake in the present. So you can use the past to make a present problem, or you can just let it go. And say, I have one problem and there is one solution. I want to see the one problem so it can be resolved. Don't want it to be obscure anymore. I don't want to mix it and put layers of small problems on top. It is a matter of desire. You've got the power. Many songs coming through today.
Many what?
Songs.
Songs.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's your turn to sing.
You've got the power. Yeah. Well, I'll send you a big love hug. Big love hug. Right to you then.
Okay.
we watched The Reluctant Saint last night.
Mm.
Just strongly in my mind as I'm feeling this unworthiness. So it's just kind of,
Yeah.
touching.
Yeah. Yeah. I can encourage you to trust the Spirit has a plan.
Yeah, it you know, I just, it's really clear. I don't have to do anything or be anything.
Mm.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Lena?
I feel my level of devotion is really low at the moment. Yeah, at the moment I don't much want this. But I found this apartment here in the town where it's really hard to find an apartment, and I wanted to live here for many years. And this was one I could afford in a good size and everything. Yeah, part of me just wants to go back to my life, my normal life, because most of the time I really don't enjoy this. I just see sacrifice in everything, really. Everything I want is just, no, it's not given.
How about joining? How about that it is given to join?
It is given to join.
Yeah. This figuring out life on your own doesn't seem like it works or like it is inspiring or like it is your calling. Core desire is very important to you.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. I can't find that desire within myself.
Well, there was a point in your life when you discovered the awakening path in the course. How did that feel to you?
Yeah, I think I read the book maybe 3 times. And
So it felt very inspiring, like you just wanted to read it.
yeah.
Yeah. That is still part of you, the desire for truth. And there is a lot of love for you in the mind. It's also for you to lay aside unhelpful thoughts and open up to the unhelpful thought.
Thank you.
Yeah, does it feel complete, or was there any specifics you wanted to get clear about apartments or anything, or you feel complete? Okay. Everyone is worthy of love. without exception. I feel angels just loving everyone. Yeah, we can learn to use our time so well, use our minds so well. If we catch every doubt thought and just release it. That's what time is for. It's not for analyzing, not for self-doubt. It's for forgiveness, letting it go. Anything else on the mind here? So,
Yeah, this the practice earlier was awesome. I just felt my heart opening, and it was really, really powerful. Thank you. And still now, it was really helpful. I was just looking through. I could see my mind wanted to analyze all the thoughts, and just stepping back and just seeing that. Yeah, it's just, it's really powerful. And I was thinking when it was being shared about the waking in the night, I've been guided recently to turn off devices early on and just pray and meditate. And I've been waking up in the middle of the night quite consistently recently. And Wayne Dyer has been there quite a few nights. He's saying, because I saw some of his videos, and he would say, "Don't go back to sleep." So I've got Wayne Dyer in my ear going, "Don't go back to sleep." And I found if I fight it, I get tired. I feel tired the next day. But if I just get up and I just meditate and I look at whatever thoughts that are coming to me or whatever, and like one night I woke up and I was having a dream about being in the Matrix, and that I'd woken up from the Matrix into the second Matrix, and I had all the leads pull out of me, and I was floating above the earth, and then I came down, and it was like it was a lesson in teaching me that about waking from the dream and waking up in the dream. Like, you still, even though you have all these experiences, all these light experiences, you still have to let it go. And there's still, I came back to earth after waking up in the Matrix, that I still had to let go of the special relationships, and that was really important. And I'm actually starting to enjoy waking up in the middle of the night now. It's actually, yeah, it's just, at first, yeah, I didn't like it because I feel tired the next day. But if I just get up and I sit and meditate and pray and go through the thoughts wherever I'm thinking about, I get to sleep. I go back to sleep much faster, and I wake up and I feel much lighter in the morning. Yeah. And I do the meditation that I would have done in the morning, and I do it in the middle of the night, and it's everything's so quiet and peaceful. And yeah. Yeah, I'm just feeling at the moment that I don't care what happens. I'm not interested anymore. Just ready for, like, it's not important. The more I really look, the less importance of anything there is. There's like, I don't want that. I don't want that. And last night I woke up at 1 o'clock, and the the lesson for yesterday, you know, you're standing before the gates of heaven and nothing here is real and nothing here is important. And yeah, just feeling that and more just being okay with it. Just being okay that it's okay to let everything go. Yeah. I've had days of fear coming up where I felt the other day the intense fear of letting go of this person, this identity, and then being surrounded by, you were talking about angels. Two mornings ago, I was doing my qigong tai chi routine, and suddenly I was just surrounded by light, and these angels were sitting in a circle and they were surrounding me, and my mind was just lifted up, and it was just so simple. Everything became really super simple. Like there were no issues in this place. There was no, none of the thoughts or concerns, normal concerns were an issue. Yeah. I'm just really grateful to be here this morning. Feeling my heart is wide open, and yeah, I just wanted to express that.
Yeah.
Thank
Really
you.
beautiful. Yeah. Thank you.
I'm grateful for your share.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's such freedom to not want anything, to not have any wanting, to realize I'm not invested in the future. It's freedom. Yeah, control is something we can just let go of. It's control over time. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, we operate solely on donations. So if you feel inspired to support this sharing, this way of teaching, yeah, you can give to us through PayPal.
It's paypal.me/Jenny and Barret. Okay, love you all. See you soon.